Well, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested if he comes to the United States. And he's looking into whether or not he can actually do it. So during his campaign, Mamdani told the New York Times that he would order the NYPD to take the Israeli leader into custody for allegedly committing genocide in Gaza. NewsNation national correspondent Marcus Espinoza is live outside the United Nations for us. Marcus, Mamdani says this is an active conversation with New York City's legal department. Can he actually do this?
Hey, Markie, good morning. So here's the thing. The Prime Minister is going to be visiting here in September at the United Nations. The mayor is having these conversations right now. As you mentioned, whether or not he can do that seems unlikely to most people you talk to about this. But here's what the mayor had to say about it and his explanation behind that possibility.
Look, I believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. He's a war criminal who has been charged by the International Criminal Court. And I think it's important to talk about the weight that that has as a charge, and also that as the mayor of New York City, I'll be following the laws of New York City.
Okay, so that was in an episode of the New York Times' The Interview podcast. Mayor Zohran Mamdani said he's exploring the legality of possibly executing an active warrant the International Criminal Court has on the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. The ICC issued it in 2024 for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity, stemming, they say, from the war in Gaza following Hamas's October 7th terrorist attacks. Neither the U.S. nor Israel recognized the International Criminal Court. In a letter to the ICC, the president last month, acting AG Todd Blanche, wrote that the U.S. hasn't consented to the ICC's authority and that the ICC doesn't have jurisdiction over U.S. citizens. In response to the mayor's comment, Prime Minister Netanyahu took to X, saying in part the ICC is a kangaroo court and that the warrant was bogus. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman speaking out and agreeing.
Well, it's such a tough guy to say that kind of thing. He has no way to do that. Of course, obviously, America's not even part of that corrupt court. And so he's just a clown to even say that. So he won't try that. And I'll just sit down and focus on the problems that they have in New York.
So, Markie, let's think about this. Could you imagine the scene of the NYPD arresting the Prime Minister when he arrives here? I think that's really the point of this discussion, if that's even possible and what that would look like. You heard there that Fetterman, he doesn't even, agree with ICC. The United States doesn't recognize that court. So it seems like a long stretch there for that to actually be able to take place. But the mayor still talking about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.